Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breaking News, Chris Pritchard Cycling News Show today. Breaking news so much so that I decided to go for this mic. I'm going to be joined in a second by Tim Fulford and Cameron Jeffers, and we're going to try and decipher exactly what's happened on this stage. But let's go back to the start before we get into all the madness that was the finish or lack of finish on this stage of the Tour de France. All right, Tim. So stage 19 is going down as one of the most craziest stages ever. Go through exactly what happened at the start of the stage. Tell us how it all unfolded.
So it was a relatively short stage, about 80 miles, 120k, and it was tailwind through where we were yesterday, Saint-Jean-de-Maurienne, Saint-Michel-de-Maurienne, up towards the Iseran. And it was mainly uphill, and we had like Dowsett out the back within 3k. Then a small break got away, Martin, Nibali, proper climbers in it. Then Valverde managed to get across to that, and they really started working. Then after about 30k, we saw Thibaut Pinot by the.
Don't laugh.
No, but it was just.
It made me cry nearly.
Well, he went so well yesterday, and he went so well in the Pyrenees, and then you just see him at the medical car, and he's got loads of strapping over his legs. Anyway, 90k left. He's 4 minutes off the back, and in the end, he had to give it in. But it's gone uphill all day. The break got some time, about 2 minutes, but the tempo was so high, it was just attritional. And by the time they'd got onto the Iseran after 3 other categorized climbs, it was just down to, 15, 20 riders in that main group. There were some sensible people, so Van Baal went up the road, De Plus went up the road, but it was, about 50k from the finish line that the Iseran started, and it all started from there, really.
Yeah. So the main headline was probably going to be Thibaut Pinot pulling out of the Tour. It looked like did they say in the end that he'd pulled a muscle?
Torn a muscle in his left leg, just above his knee.
Yeah, so that was going to be the headline, and then we got to the Iseran, and then we could have had numerous different headlines. So the group just whittled down, and Team Ineos were on the front, just picking the pace up, and then I think G kind of kicked it all off with that little attack.
Yeah, so Van Baal came back from the breakaway to help Poels, and then there was obviously Bernal and Thomas there as well. From there, Van Baal just parked it with about 45k to go, and it was Thomas that kicked it off first with 44k to go. And it was Bora that actually brought him back. So Mühlberger, I think, helped Buchmann get back. That helped Kruijswijk get back. And Alaphilippe was still hanging on. And it was very interesting to see that when G attacked, Bernal actually just sat on Alaphilippe. And then when he realised that Alaphilippe was not as strong as he was, and Kruijswijk attacked, G got back to that, and Bernal just wandered back up to it, really. Sat there for a bit, and then went. There was obviously some of the breaks out the road, so Yates, Valverde, Quintana would have been dropped at this point. But they were just scattered everywhere.
Right, let's bring in our other source now. Cameron Jeffers, he's been watching the show all day, and he can give us some insight into the
bike race. You mean?
The actual bike race, one of the only actual bike races in the chalet at the minute. Cameron Jeffers, please make your way to the stage. Transition. All right, Cam, so we've had the aftermath. It seems that everything's sorted now. We were earlier talking about conspiracies because French TV was saying that the stage might be cancelled altogether, which puts Alaphilippe back in yellow. That was never going to happen, but they were still unsure as to whether they were going to give the times from the top of the Iseran or where they were going to, but it looks like they're going to do that, which puts Egan Bernal in yellow one day before the last main stage of the Tour de France. Alaphilippe still maintains a podium spot now, thanks to that. So he's kind of been lucky because, well, let's talk about that last climb. If they'd have made it down the hill, Alaphilippe was catching the group of Geraint Thomas. What's to say he would have been able to keep with them? Would he have been able to keep with them, talking from your experience as a racer, how do you think he would have gone up that last climb?
Well, I think he would have, if he'd have made back contact with the group on the descent or in the flat before the final climb, he would have had to go straight to the front because Egan Bernal was still away off the front, so Geraint wasn't going to ride with him, and I couldn't see the other guys, Jumbo-Visma, riding with him as well. So the yellow jersey was slipping away from him in that moment. So I think it would have been down to him to bring that gap back. So he would have had to fly down the descent, go straight into the front, do what he can to bring back Egan, and then the final climb starts. So I couldn't see him still staying with that group on the climb.
And what do you think is going to happen now? The fact that they've not had to go up that last climb and really exert themselves, so like the likes of G, Kruiswijk, Bugman, all were potentially saving their energy for that last climb there to really give it some. Do you think even more fireworks are going to happen because of that tomorrow?
I don't think even more fireworks are going to happen. I think maybe it's going to happen earlier on in the stage rather than later because they've had that little extra bit of recovery and haven't had to go that deep at the final climb. There's reports saying that different riders were pacing themselves for that final climb. So, if that's the case, then riders will have saved something for tomorrow. So yeah, I don't think it's going to change the racing too much because this final climb that we're currently stood next to is that long anyway. Mm-hmm. 1 minute 30 is going to disappear in no time at all. So, for the riders to get up this climb tomorrow, it's going to be about an hour and a quarter worth of, about an hour of climbing probably. So, yeah, 1 minute 30 within an hour isn't a whole lot of time. So, I think regardless of what would have happened today, the strongest man's going to win tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, I guess why everyone's tuning in is because they want to find out exactly what happened. What we know so far and what it looks like has happened is the Finnish team for the Tour de France obviously head up there way early in advance. Then you get the team buses and team cars, and they all head up to the final climb where they're going to meet the riders, and obviously all the media are up there. The point in which the team cars and team buses made it up to the top of the final climb, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes after that's when the landslide started. So a massive hailstorm started. It caused a huge landslide. There was mudslides across the road. I think we've actually got pictures of it here.
Vi står her sammen med faktisk en som heter Bernal. Han jobber som
And it made the road just unpassable, and that's why they had to do that. Do you think they made the right call with that? Do you think, in hindsight, they could have done anything differently?
I think they made the right call in that moment. It's obviously a very high-pressured situation. They have to make a call pretty quickly as to what they're going to do. You've got the TV broadcasters and everything else going on, and also they've got the time restraints on the roads themselves. So I think they made the right call in the moment. Apparently, there was I think there's reports of two different kind of landslides. So they had the landslide on the flat before the final climb, and then there was another landslide on the final climb past the lake up to Teens where the finish line was. But I think the main thing is at the minute that no one got injured. I think we saw some images then of guys running as the landslide was happening. All the fans are there on the climb watching. So I think the main priority at the minute is to make sure no one got hurt and everyone's home safe. Yeah,
I guess a lot of the scenes that we saw earlier, it looked like it was the bottom of the climb where there weren't any fans anyway. But yeah, like you said earlier, it's important that all those fans kind of got to safety, and it sounds like they have. So that's good. Yay! So we talked about the GC contenders. Is there anyone else in that peloton who are going to be thankful that happened in that stage?
Yeah, certainly Alex Dowser. He got dropped 3K into today's stage, so he spent his whole day trying to chase the time cut. So I think he's going to be having a sigh of relief that the stage got shortened. So potentially he's going to remain in the race for tomorrow. But also there's a few reports flying around of Pinot being reinstated, which I don't think it should be the case. I mean, if he has genuinely torn a muscle in his leg, then he's in no fit state to start this stage tomorrow. So whether he's allowed to start tomorrow or not, then I think we're not. I don't think we're going to see him regardless.
Yeah, I think that was probably going to be the biggest headline of the day: the fact that Pinot got popped for being injured.
Pinot Grigio popped the cork.
Wow. Thank you for watching, everybody. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're brand new here, hit that subscribe button. We've got another day of the Tour de France coming up tomorrow. The rides are going to be passing us here, so we're going to be out on the roadside reporting the news as it comes. And this guy here, little fact for you, he actually went up to Val Thorens today and got a KOM. He beat Warren Barguil's time. What of it? But do you think the peloton will beat his time up the KOM tomorrow? Leave your comments down below.
By the way, the answer is yes, they will.
Of course they will. That's what everyone's going to write. Bye.